What's up guys, this is Shukesh Banik once again, and today I'll be doing a scratch test on the Motorola Moto X. As you know, there is Corning Gorilla Glass 3 protection at the front that is on the screen, which is also used on top-end flagship devices because it's highly scratch proof. Now the bezel around the edges of the phone is made of polycarbonate material and the back is actually highly rubberized with mesh finish. Feels really nice in hand. Now the question is, after months of uses, will this beautiful exterior of Moto X survive scratches from your fingernails, from coins or keys in your pocket, or the rough surface you keep this on? And also, do you actually need a scratch guard or a case for your Moto X? Well, first of all, I don't suggest you to use any scratch or screen protector on your phone because there is Gorilla Glass 3 and it's highly scratch proof. There will be not a single scratch after months or even years of uses. But I can definitely say this is not shatterproof at all. That is, if you drop the phone for even once, the screen will shatter. In addition to that, a screen guard gets scratched itself and blocks the visibility and also make the screen look inferior. So I'm not that much fond of screen protectors. Now let's get started with the scratch test, and first of all I'll try the coin, and there will be basically no effect on the screen glass of the phone. Now the display is actually sensitive to metal, and as you know, there is a feature called Moto Display, but the good thing is in your pocket Moto Display doesn't work and the screen won't get automatically switched on. Next I'll try the sharp end of this scissor, and visibly there is nothing happening, not a single scratch on the screen, and the screen is actually very smooth, feels like oily, and because of this oleophobic coating there is basically not even a trace of the scratch. Though as you can see, the glass is actually quite reflective and attracts fingerprints. Well, let's try once again, and this time I'll try harder. From my previous experience, I can assure you the glass will survive this brutal scratch test, and I cannot say anything about the polycarbonate bezel or the rubberized back. Seems like the weakest points of the phone. Well, there is almost invisible marks on the screen, but once I wipe clean it, it's shiny and stain free once again. Ultimately, I'll try the knife here, the one I use for unboxing. Let's see what happens. Well, the glass is so smooth, so slippery, I'm not finding proper grip, and I always feel that Motorola devices have got the best oleophobic coating on their glasses, which offers excellent swiping experience. As expected, the screen is still as good as new. So there is basically no need of any scratch guard. At least I don't use them, and all of my phones are still scratch free. I really hate the scratches on the scratch guard, and you will also lose the smoothness of the display glass. Well, let's move to the bezel, that is the polycarbonate frame around the edges of the phone. Now if you have seen the scratch test on the Moto G3, you know the frame of the G3 is actually quite vulnerable to scratches. Now let's see what happens to its bigger brother Moto X. Well, as you can see guys, it actually got scratched quite easily. There is visible dents or marks on the screen, so just like the Moto G 2015, the bezel is the weakest part of this phone. If you drop your phone on this frame from even 1 feet height, there is a very good chance you will find an ugly dent, and after months of uses you will see visible uses marks on this frame. So slightly disappointed here. Motorola should look for something different, something that can withstand scratches from daily uses, and I also suggest you to use a case, probably a silicone case, because while installing hard cases, I've seen cases itself wearing off the bezel, especially on the Samsung devices. So keep that in mind as well. Last but not the least, the back panel, which is made of plastic and has a very thick rubber coating, is pairing with the knife scratch quite well. Let's try harder and scratch this corner. Well, the back is actually sturdier than I thought, so I am totally pleased with this. The bezel is the weakest point of the phone. So my final verdict is, get a case for your Motorola Moto X. No need of any scratch guard. Overall, the Moto X is one of the most well-built phones in the market, and it feels really very solid in hand. As you know, the back panel is replaceable, and this phone is also water repellent. The exterior design and the ergonomics of the phone is also top class. I prefer this design over Samsung devices in the same category, mainly because of the chrome finish on the bezel of Samsung devices. Well, this is the end of the scratch test. You can check the description below for more interesting videos on this phone, like water splash test and also OTG test. You can also find the review and the unboxing videos as well. Thanks a lot for watching, keep in touch, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel.